Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving into one of the most extreme, literally mind-bending physics thought experiments you could possibly imagine. You know when you just stand outside, feet planted on the solid ground, and you feel completely motionless? Like you're totally safe, grounded, and still. Well, that stillness, it is a complete illusion. We are actually hurtling through space, spinning at this incredible rate. But what happens if that grand cosmic dance just stops, even for a brief moment? Today, we're going to break down exactly what would unfold in the most chaotic, destructive second imaginable. So the crucial question we're exploring today is simple, but absolutely devastating. What if the Earth stopped spinning for exactly 1 second? Just one single, solitary second. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, hey, it's just a second, right? It's a tiny hiccup. Maybe we'd stumble a bit, maybe the lights flicker, and then boom, everything goes back to normal. Well, actually, scratch that, wrong. As we'll see today, the laws of physics absolutely do not care about how brief the pause is. In physics, sudden deceleration is the ultimate enemy. And to really grasp the magnitude of this catastrophic core premise, we need to look at a concept we've all experienced in our everyday lives. To really grasp the mechanics here, I want you to picture this. Imagine you're sitting in a car, speeding down the highway. You're going fast. Now, imagine the driver suddenly slams on the brakes. Hard. What happens to you? You fly forward, right? You're violently thrown right towards the dashboard. Why? Because of inertia. The car stopped, but your body wanted to keep moving at that exact same high speed. Now, I want you to scale that concept up. Take it from a tiny metal box on wheels to an entire planet. The Earth is our speeding vehicle, and literally every single one of us is a passenger. Consider the sheer scale of this number, 1,670 kilometers per hour. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the baseline speed at which our planet is rotating at the equator right this very moment. You, me, the buildings around us, the oceans, the mountains, we are all currently cruising through space at 1,670 kilometers per hour. We don't feel it, of course, because everything is moving together at a constant speed, but if the Earth suddenly slams on its cosmic brakes and just halts, that momentum doesn't just magically disappear into thin air. Because of the laws of inertia, if the solid ground stops, everything not deeply bolted to the planetary bedrock, and yes, that includes every single human being, would instantly be catapulted forward at that exact velocity. Imagine being thrown horizontally at over 1,000 miles an hour. It is an instant, unimaginable launch. But you know, it's not just solid objects that have momentum. Rapidly following that up is an even more terrifying factor, 1,000 kilometers per hour. See, the atmosphere itself, that invisible ocean of air we breathe, is also moving with the Earth's rotation. When the solid planet abruptly stops, the atmosphere just keeps right on going. This means we would instantly experience supersonic winds whipping across the planet at roughly 1,000 kilometers per hour. To put that terrifying number into perspective, the most devastating Category 5 hurricanes on record barely scratch a tiny fraction of that speed. This isn't just a windy day, guys. This is a literal wall of dense air moving faster than a commercial jet plane. So what does 1,000 kilometer per hour wind actually do? Well, it blows everything away. And I mean absolutely everything. First, as we established, you and the people around you are swept up forcefully. But it gets so much worse so quickly. Those extreme atmospheric shear winds would instantly flatten buildings and concrete structures as if they were made of fragile matchsticks. Trees, ancient forests, entire environments would be stripped right off the face of the Earth's crust. Literally nothing on the surface is safe from this level of wind force. It is an absolute chaotic leveling of the human world in a fraction of a second. But the terror isn't just in the air. Now, let's shift our focus to the hydrosphere. Think about carrying a totally full glass of water when you suddenly stop walking. What happens? The water violently spills over the front edge, right? Now imagine that glass is the Pacific Ocean. The Earth's water retains its massive forward momentum even when the solid rock beneath it comes to a dead stop. Trillions of gallons of ocean water suddenly have no containing boundaries that can hold them back at that speed. The water will just surge eastward, violently tearing over coastlines without any warning whatsoever. And this uncontrolled momentum leads to one specific, absolutely catastrophic event: a tsunami. But honestly, forget any normal localized tsunami you've ever read about. This is the catastrophic result of the planet's uncontrolled water crashing violently across the entire globe. This uncontrolled oceanic momentum instantly manifests as world-ending waves. We are talking about literal mountains of water traveling far inland, swallowing entire continents, cities, and valleys in one gulp. It's an unstoppable force of liquid moving at near supersonic speeds, basically scouring the planet's surface completely clean. If the atmospheric winds didn't get you, the global ocean displacement absolutely will, for sure. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what about underground? Surely if we were in a super deep bunker, we'd be safe. Well, let's trace the geological chain reaction. Step 1, the tectonic plates shift. The immense, violent deceleration doesn't just affect the surface, it literally fractures the planet's actual lithosphere.
The Earth's crust isn't one solid piece, remember? It's like a giant puzzle of massive plates. When you slam the brakes, those massive puzzle pieces violently crash into each other, which triggers step 2. Widespread volcanoes erupt. The sudden, extreme pressure changes force magma to the surface instantly, literally everywhere at once. And finally, step 3. Dangerous earthquake strike. We're talking seismic events completely off the charts, ripping the very ground apart. It is a devastating geological chain reaction occurring right beneath our feet.
So let's pull all of this together. We've got supersonic winds obliterating the surface, we've got rogue oceans swallowing entire land masses, and we have the Earth's crust shattering, erupting, and shaking itself to pieces. We are instantly pushed to the absolute brink of total destruction. These overlapping atmospheric, oceanic, and geological disasters don't take days or weeks to unfold. They happen simultaneously, bringing the entire world to the edge of annihilation in mere fractions of a second. It is a complete systemic failure of the Earth's physical structure as we know it. Which brings us to our final, pretty chilling reality. Remember, our whole thought experiment here was only for 1 single second of stoppage. But physics is incredibly unforgiving. By the time the Earth starts spinning again after 1 second, you will already be gone. It's a blunt, factual, dark punchline. That single second of planetary silence is literally all it takes to trigger an unstoppable wave of kinetic energy. The absolute briefest pause completely erases everything. Which kind of begs the question, what other invisible cosmic forces are keeping us alive at this very moment, completely unnoticed? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep your curiosity spinning.